Say, mountain move, and it shall move. I'm going to show you how that works. I'm going to share with you how it works. Probably not going to move a mountain today, but it's possible. I'm going to explain how that works. I'm really going to explain how that works. Are you ready for it? Because when we get done, it's going to make so much sense to you that you can actually use what I'm going to share with you today on anything in your life. It's going to take one very powerful thing that you might have to do. I'm going to explain all of that right now. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. You're probably thinking, wow, she's really pushing it. She's going to tell us how to move mountains? Yeah, I'm going to tell you how to move mountains. I have 5 stars on my Breakthrough Fear course. Why? Because everything I do and show you, not only do I do it myself, but I explain to you how all of these magical powers that you hold work into your experience as a human. Those are not separate. Nothing's separate. How do people move mountains? Now, this is in the Bible, right? You shall say, mountain move, and it will move. Did Christ mean that literally? Yes. Yes. And you're probably thinking, oh, wait. No. He didn't really mean a mountain. Yes, he did. He meant a mountain. The man walked on water. Moving a mountain's no big deal. How's he doing this? All right. First of all, I want you to understand that everything that I talk about in this video and in all of my teachings, and if you guys, this is free, come on over. I have a brand spanking new program coming out, taking you to activate your magic. That is the advanced level of manifesting, because this is the stuff I'm going to teach you. We're using quantum physics, not just, science versus spirituality. There's no difference between the two. And science knows this now. Those things that Buddhist monks do that's so out there is science. That's what we're going to talk about. When you say mountain move, you are not saying to a physical object, mountain move. You are talking to a holographic universe. Right? Now, here's what I explained to you in my last few videos, and this is exactly how this works. You can apply it to anything. We're going through some major stuff. This is February 2022. It's going to be old really quick. This is all still going to apply. What happens is when we start to think differently, believe differently, and shift into a completely different mindset, we shift our own reality. We're actually shifting our own reality. And as a collective, the more of us that do that, the more we shift the collective experience. That's why you could be experiencing something here and still see stuff going on out there that are the not so pleasant choices of other people, because you were still part of the experience of the hologram, the illusion, the matrix, which we're creating at every moment. The matrix isn't something, a program you stepped into in this hour. It is. It is created by us as an experience that changes at every split second, and that is with your thoughts and your beliefs. If I believe that I am in heaven on earth, there's nothing you can tell me to convince me different, because that's what I believe, and I think, and I feel, and I act that way. I may even say, yes, I do know all these atrocities are going on. I do know that it doesn't feel very good, but I also know that I'm still on earth experiencing heaven, because I agreed to be a human being in a very challenging program. So I know heaven on earth is not going to be the same heaven that we experience when we aren't in density. I know that. And I accept that, and that's what makes it so amazing, because I realize I can actually go into that space, that high frequency of euphoria, even here on the cray-cray planet. All right? And that's what awakening is. It's awareness. Awakening is just to wake up to what you are, and going past the hologram, the illusion, and realizing, wait a minute, I'm not these things. I'm creating these things. I'm not the mountain. I created the mountain. And the mountain exists through the collective. but you still get to experience your own individual reality. So, if you go into the space of total empowerment, when you realize that you are the miracle, you're the creator of the miracle, you're the requester of the miracle, you're the person that created the situation that requires the miracle according to you. You're all those things. When you go into that space, and that's what my advanced manifesting is, activate your magic, is when we actually understand that that's what we are and we start to use it. It's coming out March. So sign up for the free stuff, because that whole program, all that training that I'm giving you for free, it's time to do the work and understand. Now, if I gave you the simulated world that we put on, we get the glasses on, and have you ever done the one in space? I mean, talk about freaking you out. When you're in space and you're like, somebody said to me, look down, and I was like petrified to look down because it felt so real, and I know it's not real. But I looked down and it was real for me. I was looking down and there was nothing. Nothing. As far as I could see, I was floating in space. Freaky, freaky feeling. Even though it's not real. But it's as real as it feels at the moment, because that's what we're experiencing here in the hologram, in the illusion. That's how you move the mountain. So if I put on my little simulator, and I know it's not real, but I can move the mountain through the program. I can change the program, right? So I can do things with that I know are just an experience of the energy field that I am. That I'm not even the human being that's requesting this change. You can change your complete reality. You guys are having time issues because that's not real either. There's no such thing as time. What's time? Is it your time or my time? Oh, well, that's according to how we spin, Who's on this side, exposed to the sun, and you're on the dark side? No. Then what's time? If time's one thing, it has to be the same for everybody, and it's not. When you leave Earth, the higher you go, the more it slows down. Time slows down. Astronauts could come back a few years later and still look, a year has passed for them and 20's passed here. So how can time be real? It would have to be the same for everybody, and the same thing goes for your life, your reality. So when you talk about facts and how things should be and how we should act, get out of the box. Get out of the box that we've created that is 2D. It's 3D. 3D box. Pop out of it and realize we created that box. We created the limitations. We created the rules. We created this entire life we've been living because we're complaining about a percentage of people here. By the way, how does that happen? There has to be people that carry out those orders, right? Wars. How can there be a war? There has to be somebody carrying out an order. Armies. People that go along with stuff. World War II. Remember that? No. But we know about it, don't we? No matter how many people opposed, they were still doing stuff that was harmful, believing that they were somehow controlled by other people. These many people. And even those many people were opposed to it too and still kept going. As a collective, we are all powerful. We're a community. We are saying no. We are shifting the program. Now the program is about owning your own businesses. You guys see this all the time. We're owning our own businesses. We're creating, empowering ourselves with our own education, our own knowledge. It's not about making money online. We're all saying, okay, well, how do I want to live my life? If I have skills and knowledge, I can apply them and use technology the same way that we looked up to other people. Oh, I can't learn that stuff. Yes, you can. We have 80-year-old students. I'm not kidding about that. 19 to 80. I think maybe even older. Why? Because they don't see limits. If you are saying no or I can't or whatever, you are never going to move the mountain. Because you think it's this impossible task. It's not. Because everything is malleable. Everything is being created by you. So when I say move mountains, you just don't go out and say, okay, mountain move. You have to go into an entire reality, entire shift of how you operate in the world, how you believe, think, and how you use that power. Not just to get things. I want to get things. Well, that's how people do. They don't want to go on the journey. They want to sit here with this mentality and get that over here. Impossible. The same mind that created the problem cannot solve the problem, right? So if you're in a frame of mind of lack or anything else, or you think you're the human being, and that you're somehow separate from people, blaming people, telling, listen, don't be telling people what to do. That's disapproval. Let's go beyond that. Let's celebrate the diversity, our differences, our expressions, whatever. You don't have to like it, but it is you. Because we're the energy field that flows through everything. So if I am that, I'm the energy that flows through the mountain too. That is the mountain. Therefore, I can actually move it. It will no longer be in that position in the reality I shift into. That's all that's happening. It's not going... You can do that too, but that's not how the quantum field works. As of right now. Of course, there's no limits to anything, right? But the point being, if it's not real and it's holographic, it's illusion, then we just shift into the illusion where it's over here. And this is how you change your life. So if I don't like my life the way it is, I cannot be the person I am right now, think the way I am, believe, and act the way I am. I have to shift into the reality where I have no limits. I get off my butt and start doing things. I stop listening to the limitations of everybody else that tells me I can't do things. And I become that very small percentage of people that are rocking it. And you change the world. And we're doing it in a positive way. Come on over to the Miracle Circle. Not one person on this planet came here to just skate by. Why? Because we're in the final phases of the transition of the planet. We're in the final phases of the game, which could be hundreds of years, by the way. It's not going to be in your lifetime or mine. But we will exist during that in a different adventure, in a different form. This is why I give you guys training. I'm going to give you the tools to manifest anything. I make some pretty bold statements. I give the tools to manifest anything. What's anything? You have no limits. But you chose to be a person, a human, to experience being human. So we have to deal with the choice we made to be here. So it's not like, oh, I don't want to be a human anymore. Well, play it out, my friend, and in a nanosecond, you'll be something else. But you chose to be human, so you can, within this human experience, experience unbelievable things. You guys are doing body projections, right? Projecting yourself in other places. I've done that twice. Yeah, was it just twice? I keep thinking there was some other time. One while I was awake and one while I was asleep. But when I was asleep, I actually realized that I wasn't in a dream. You want to know how to know if you're in a dream? Look at your feet. I thought, okay, I can never see my feet in dreams. Have you ever noticed that? Things are a little vague. I thought, I'm going to look at my feet and I'm going to stomp on the floor. I looked down and I was standing on a cobblestone street and I stomped on it and I went, oh my gosh, I'm really here. I'm really here. What is that? How does that happen? This is real, right? No, it's not. It's movable. And how did that happen? I didn't request to do that. Sometimes you just pop in and out of things, right? Because there's so many different factors in this and so many different thoughts and beliefs and actions and energy fields going on at one time that you might pop in and out of different existences and be aware of it. So you're doing it all the time anyways. You're just not aware of it. Because this is like mess you up. Way too many things to keep track of. I'm a whale, and then I'm, a monk, and then I'm, off on another planet. I mean, it would be too much. This is why we have separation of existences, so that we can handle one experience at a time. Therefore, the mountain is just a part of the program. And so, you can, today, go into the space of total empowerment and realize that you can change anything in your life. You can move a mountain. And you can start to live a life that you never imagined possible. And you'll look back one day and realize, I literally moved a mountain because my life is no longer the same life I was living. And I didn't imagine that I was doing that, but I was. But I was. How amazing is that? And you can start today. I hope you'll subscribe, but I want you to know I have a series coming out. It's called Tap Into Your Power, Break Through Fear, and Activate Your Magic. And I take you on a journey of understanding, and that's what the free videos are here. They're just brief excerpts from those trainings. I help you to understand what you are first. Because if you don't believe you are creating that out there, then you're always going to feel it. You know, you're at the mercy of something else. Second thing is we do remove the blocks. We learn to deal with them and we see them differently. And that's Breakthrough Fear. Activate Your Magic coming out shortly. We do advanced manifesting. We actually change the meaning of words so that instead of having a word that is a limitation for you, it becomes something powerful. And so you think completely different. And this is a book that I'm writing right now. It's the restructuring of the human language, vocabulary. The human vocabulary. What does that mean? Words that you say now that have so much meaning because we've been in a box. This is good, this is bad. Completely different meanings. All of it. What does that do for us? It opens us up. So instead of judgment and separation, a word now has an expansive meaning and is no longer bad or negative. Like ugly. What's ugly? Could be, you know, one of those hairless cats, which is absolutely adorable. Right? It's that kind of thinking where all of a sudden the word has a completely different meaning and there's no such thing as ugly because how can anything be ugly? It's all part of the one and it has to be beautiful because it comes from unconditional love and it's meant to be expressive. Only humans see things as ugly and bad. Only we do. And believe me, I get my triggers fired off, especially with animals, man. If I see something going on with an animal, like yesterday, it can be very unpleasant. So you have to live in this world right now and do what you can. You cannot just sit there and try and move the mountain. You have to participate in the world if you really want to experience being human and make a big difference. That's energy you're placing out there when you actively function in the physical world. You ready to do that? So does this make sense? You're actually shifting into a new reality and you can do it all day long. In fact, you can completely change your life. Completely. And so you can look back and say, wait a minute, I actually shifted into a reality that I never would have experienced had I not done certain things. So that reality that you live, and the one I am when I quit investment banking 7 years ago, did this, I shifted into a completely different life. Completely. And I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you. Another reality, totally. And so I moved a mountain. So, and it does mean literally you can move a mountain, but it doesn't mean it moves independently of everything else. It shifts within another reality. So you have to choose the reality, you have to know what it takes to get there, you have to do the work. That's good, it's fun. It's not a bad thing. I hope you'll subscribe and share my videos. I hope this makes sense because I'm just touching on what I teach you guys in your advanced manifesting. In Activate Your Magic. So if you want to come over, Miracle Circle, $29.95 a month. You actually go into training. You get 30 days of training, usually a 1.5 to 2 hour miracle session with me, and then one live. You get two, right? You get a recorded and then a live one. Why do people just limitations? Why? Programming. Change the program, my friend. We're the creators. We're the creators and the players. Imagine what we could do. And it's happening right now. It is. I'm very excited about that. Are you? A new world opening up to all of us. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my powerful, amazing friend. Namaste.